mic. No.
All right, if this is too loud, just yell at me, folks. You're not gonna hurt my feelings.
It's actually very good, actually.
I worked in oil and gas. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. I'll start off with a funny story. Anybody ever heard of British Petroleum BP?
Yeah.
Okay. What color is BP predominantly?
Green and white.
Okay. So I talked to a few of the guys in here earlier, and I told you I was working for Devon Energy. Well, my jacket and oil rig was getting painted. We were painting it a nice yellow. Okay. For 3 months ahead of time, we told the BP, because their rigs was parked right next to ours, do not park your Jag next to our rig for this week, because we're painting. Well, he's a VP, president of VP North America. I can do whatever I want. Well, I have all the documentation as engineers. Documentation, you love it, right?
Mhm.
So I had all the documentation. Comes the morning up, he's parked his brand new, this was in 2006, so he parked his brand new 2006 Jag, fully loaded, British Racing Green, absolutely beautiful car.
Uh-oh.
As a car guy, I'm like, this is beautiful. My guys came in and said, what are we gonna do? I said, we're behind schedule, paint. We painted it yellow. And as
The
you know-
rig.
With the rig. Now, this is being based in Corpus Christi on the shore, right? What do you think the overage provider does?
You know what it does.
His half of his car was nice, shiny, safety yellow.
Okay. Safety yellow.
It was. Yeah,
How'd that story end?
Actually, I did not get fired. Documentation got me out of it, but what ended up happening is the corporation that I worked for ended up buying him a brand new paint job on his car.
Oh,
Even
just a
though we
paint.
had all the documentation saying, do not park here. He was parked illegally. You're not allowed to park in the area. You have to park and walk, but you know, we know how clients are. There you go. So my name's Perry. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I do love Super Rugby. Rugby is a great sport, so I've been to New Zealand and Australia. I think a few folks have probably been there before. So if you do get a chance to go, it's awesome. It's a lot of fun. The weather's beautiful, especially this time of year. It's not terribly hot down there.
You pick up rugby in high school?
Actually, when I was going through my, starting my doctoral, reason being is because it was the only sport that was on at 3 o'clock in the morning. Watching it on television.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it was the other,
Interesting.
when you're working full-time, going to school full-time, you're doing your classwork at 3 a.m. And it was the only sport that was on, and I love sports, picked it up
Wow. That's cool.
and enjoyed it. So, a lot of fun. But I want to talk about another sport today, and that's Lions Pride Robotics. The faculty advisor slash coach for our robotics team at the university. One of the many hats I do wear. I'm also associate professor in the Department of Engineering and Technology. I'm also the director of our university's makerspace. Some of you folks might have heard of the makerspace before. If you have any questions about that, I'll gladly talk to you, everybody, after the presentation's over regarding that. So real quick, regarding kind of an introduction, I want to talk a little bit about the engineering and technology department. If I don't do that, my boss is going to yell at me. So I'm just check marking that box. I'm going to cover what Lion Prize Robotics is, what is VexU, kind of a recap of our 25-26 season, which was very good, and then our plan going into 26-27. And then I hope I got my spelling right. If there's any spelling mistakes, fine.
Engineers, yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. I tell my guys, tell my students, I said, do your best. You know, if you're spelling it, at least begin with the first correct letter and end with the correct letter to be all right. But make sure you get your math right. The math is important. Marketable skills. That's one of the things that I want to talk about with the folks that are on the robotics team. And this goes more about team. I'm going to touch on the teamwork and communication skills. But what are some of the other skill sets that students are learning that actually can be applied to your organizations and stuff like that? And then lastly, open the floor for questions. You can tell it's an engineer doing this because it's a black and white PowerPoint. Everything's bullet pointed. Here we go. So this is our current Department of Engineering layout. We have industrial engineering, which is our oldest engineering program. We have construction engineering, which is a subset of civil. So when these students do set for your professional engineering exam, they do set for the civil engineering. So they are civil engineers. Electrical engineering, and we just got approval from the state of Texas to start offering mechanical engineering. So ME is coming online. I'm actually the committee chair. We'll be hiring our first faculty member this fall semester for mechanical engineering. So that is starting. Lastly is our technology management program, and that's where I'm the faculty advisor of. start technology program. So there's that. Any questions so far?
Oh, we don't have to save until the end?
What's that?
We don't have to save
I was
until the,
gonna
okay.
say.
You're ready to go.
I was
Thank
gonna
you.
apologize in advance.
Yeah, you're fine. So I'm guessing most of the folks in here have probably heard of VEX or IFI. That's a pretty fair assessment. You've probably been to high school competitions or have had family members that have participated at the middle school level, high school level, stuff like that.
Johnny's a coach. He's brought kids in from China that have come here and trained 2 different teams. And
Yeah.
he's done all kinds, and been there also.
Okay, so, and that's one of, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about now. VEXU is just a little bit different from the high school and middle school level, especially the high school level. In high school, you have to form alliances, correct? You have 2 high schools that come together, they participate, and then during the round robin, it's what, luck of the draw, I believe, it's just a draw of who you get for your alliance teams.
You pick your alliance, you're seeded based on your, be like pool play,
Right.
and then number 1 has to pick of anybody else, and then you form your alliances that way.
Okay, thank you. And so you get to pick how you're doing, so there's some gamemanship in there as far as
Yes.
where you're ranked at, and I've heard horror stories.
Yeah, especially world, yeah.
Yes. All right, university level is a little bit different than that. What we do is we do not form alliances with other universities. Our university, or each university, builds 2 robots. So we participate as a team. So in the VEX University, there's 260 college university teams worldwide, primarily from the United States, Middle East, North Africa, and then China are the primary areas. There's also teams from Europe, South America, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand. At Worlds this year, there was a couple teams from Sydney, a team from Auckland, multiple teams from China. So it is truly a international affair. Out of the 260 teams that participated worldwide this last year, 120 qualified for Worlds. Out of that, we did really well, and I'll get into that here in a minute. So that's the primary differences between high school is the alliances don't exist at the university level, whereas they do at the high school level.
So you build 2 robots, are they exactly the same, or do you?
It depends on what your strategy is. For us, we built mirror images because this year, this is one of our robots from last year. The other robot was an exact copy of it. And it just depends on what your strategy is. There was a team from actually UT Austin. They had one really big robot that was at max capacity, I believe. What was it, 24 by 24 by 24 is a big robot? Then it was an
I've
18.
been retired several years, so in the good
Yeah.
old days, it was 18 by 18 by 18.
Okay, it's 18. I'm a paper pusher, so that's what I do. I push the paper. But whatever the large robot is, and then you have a small robot, which is 15 by 15 by 15. So as long as you can build lower than that, but you cannot exceed those limits. And so what we did this year is our team decided to make them as small as possible. So each one of our robots is a 15 by 15 by 15 robot. And we went with speed and agility this year. So that's one of the things that you have to start thinking about, and one of the marketable skills is cost-benefit analysis. And that's something that the students learn is, okay, well, what is our strategy? What is going to be our gameplay this year? Are we going to go, if you're familiar with the gaming world, are you going to be a tank where you can just absorb punishment and just take and take and take? Or are you going to be agile and nimble and move around quickly and be able to get in and out as fast as you can? This last year, we went with more of an agile strategy. And this helps out as well because at the university level, we can create and design our own gear ratios. So at the high school level, you have to use VEX components as far as everything. At the university level, we can also 3D print our robots. And then we designed our own unique gear ratios. We can design our own teeth, everything related to the gears. So what can happen is our robots can go a lot quicker than, say, a high school robot because we can adjust the gear ratios more than they can.
Perry, yours are not fighting robots, even though you said like a tank, they're doing skills.
We're doing
Correct.
skills, and usually robots aren't supposed to hit. They're not supposed to, but they hit. Especially this last year, the name of the game was Pushback, and as far as I know, as far as I've been in VEX, this game was the most combative that I have seen.
Okay.
We were participating in Houston, and this is a funny story. I'll go ahead and tell it now. We made it to the finals, and as you know, final matches are the best of 3. First match, we got hung up. You'll notice, and we call this crisis engineering, crisis management. But what happened is our little bat wing for de-scoring the robots or outscoring elements this last year during our first of our final matches, it got hung up, so we had to put in a plate right there. Well, what happened was the next match we did this, we got hit so hard it broke the mount for our brain right here and cracked the brain. That's how hard we got hit. So we're on the field, and you get a couple minutes in between matches. Usually when you're doing the best of 3 back-to-back, refs are kind of like take a few minutes. Our brain is literally hanging down here. So it's like, we're in trouble. So one of my guys, engineer's best friend, zip ties.
Zip ties.
So literally, we ripped it off, zip tied it back on there, put a new brain in, and we ended up winning the next 2 matches and won the Texas regional. So it was pretty interesting. So that was a great game for us. We beat UT Austin. I don't know where the allegiance lies. I'm from East Texas A&M, so I'm blue and gold. So if I make fun of
A lot of
I
Aggies
was
here.
gonna say, they're a little more burgundy.
no, all right. Well, I do apologize. We did beat College Station 92-18.
Oh.
But if it makes you feel better, we beat UT Austin 88-0.
Whoa.
There we go. It was a great year for us. Yeah, it was a great year for us. The teams that we beat University of Illinois, we beat both their A and B team. We beat A&M's A and B team. Beat UT Austin, Rogers State, Laterno, Abilene Christian, Texas Tech. Overall for the season, we went 30-5. The 4 of our 5 losses were to the University of Auburn, who ended up winning Worlds. We lost to them 1-2 in the finals of our division match of the Worlds. The only other university to beat us was University of Nebraska. And the only reason we lost to them was, anybody ever have a junior engineer on their team?
What's that mean?
Junior
That's
en-
code talk.
Junior, a newbie, a new
Okay.
guy, a new guy. That's-
They know everything.
They know everything. Rookie.
Okay.
I told my guys, I said, guys, look at your intake. So this was against the University of Nebraska. So what happened was, this is our game element intake. So the scoring spheres would go into here, get converted up here through the mechanism, and then ejected into the scoring area. Well, what happened was, I said, guys, you need to actually build that out. And they just had little pieces of 3D plastic that is very thin. And I'm like, guys, you need to really do that. And they're like, it'll be fine, Dr. Muller, it'll be fine. Famous last words. Within the first 10 seconds, University of Nebraska comes up, hits it so hard. At that time, we did not have pneumatics on it, so everything was mechanical driven. They came up, hit it so hard, it broke 2 of the mechanical gears for it, and our intake mechanism fell off. It's like,
Not good.
Not good. So we were done for that match. Now we were repaired, and we did well. We ended up, we lost to University of Auburn twice at that game, and that was up at University of Kansas. We lost to Auburn in the prelim, or in the pool play, and then we lost to Nebraska, made it to the qualification round, made it to the quarterfinals, and then we lost to Auburn again. Auburn was our nemesis this last year, but it was a good team, so it was a great team. But it was a lot of fun, so my kids learned a lot. It was a blast. It's amazing. There's a university, and what I can now tell my kids is the best learning is seeing what can go wrong, and they're learning wisdom not just from our mistakes, but from the mistakes of other teams, because they see it, it's like, ooh, we do not really want that to happen. There was a team from University of Nebraska, Omaha. I don't know if you ever heard of them or not. Smaller school. Really enjoy their coach. Me and him get along great. He's a car guy. He builds cars and saw all sorts of fun stuff. So me and him are talking about cars, and he's sitting over in the corner, rubbing his eyes, and you know that look, right, of I told you so. I go over, I'm like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, my kids didn't listen. I'm like, what happened? He's like the rest of us, we predominantly at the university level 3D print most of our components. He's like, my kids said the part wouldn't break. The one part that they did not bring extra broke in the first match, and it literally the robot could not be repaired. So they traveled from Omaha, Nebraska, over to University of Kansas for a competition, and they were done in the first 10 minutes of play. So they literally set their robots in. If you've been a coach, you know it happens. You just set your robot on the field, and you're like, oh.
Is that how it works, Johnny?
Yep. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Yeah, so you know exactly what I'm saying. They were still able to play with their other robot, but if you're down, you're playing 2v1 unless it's a miracle, it's tough to come back. And so learning lessons, talked to them at Worlds, and they had a completely different design, and I looked over at their stuff, and magically they had extra components for everything. And now, as for me, as a coach, I can go talk to my guys and say, hey folks, remember, we don't want to be like them. Oh yeah, you're right, Dr. Mo. I know.
That's kind of your strategy with having dual robots identical.
Mhm.
You could borrow parts, I guess.
We can borrow parts, and that's exactly what we did. So instead of, now we would print off extra of certain components like gears, we would print off a ton of different gears because depending if we wanted to adjust to a little, depending on who we were playing, if we wanted to be a little bit faster or maybe a little bit more torque, we can do that. But gears wear out quickly, so we would always change gears out and stuff like that. But then other components, we'd only bring one or two of just in case, kind of like the sides and stuff like that. We had extra because if they do break, we want to be able to repair it, but the chances are pretty low. You get into most folks know your risk matrix, right? So is it high, severe, all sorts of fun stuff like that. And we do the same thing with robotics, and that's documented and put into our engineering notebook. So those are some pretty fun things. During our competitions this year, this was our third iteration of a complete rebuild of our robotics. Our first competition was at University of Kansas. That was one unique design. It was a little bit bigger. It held more scoring spheres. The max this one could hold is 6. At that time, we could hold 14 scoring spheres in each of the robots. And then over time, as the season went on, we adjusted our strategy a little bit down. And if you're familiar with VEX, like within high school, we also have the skills competition. So after our Houston event, at that time, at the beginning of the season, we were more after skills scores. So we designed the robot more for that gameplay. Then at Houston, we kind of went with a 50-50 split. And then by the time Worlds came around, they said, skills, we're not going to do it. We cannot compete with that, so we focused all of our energy on driving. So what happened was our driving went up, but our skill scores went down. At University of Kansas, we scored 189 overall out of 250 possible points, so we did fairly well. At our last, at Worlds, because we completely redesigned the robot to not use skills. We still did a skill score, check mark a box, but we scored like 60 points. It's just a different how the game is played.
Where was World held?
St. Louis.
That's right.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
So, it's fun.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like
So did the
a
high-
rock concert when you go to
Do
it.
the high schoolers and the college in the same thing, or is totally different competitions? Like, I mean, do they see each other?
No, we are set totally different. High school, it's a, 10-day, 12-day event? 10 days, I believe, overall.
And the good thing, well, if you go back down to
The middle school kid.
IQ all the way, you've got a full week
Yeah.
of competition, because they would do the high school, college, and the middle school that was doing VEX
Yeah.
at one time during one tournament, and then I call it a changeover day, then they bring in the IQ kids.
Yeah. I know this year, how it was done when we went to Houston, or not Houston, excuse me, to St. Louis. The high schoolers were first, they were 3 or 4 days, 4 days, I believe. And then VEXU and the middle school kids came in, and then after us was the IQ. So where it gets interesting for me as a coach and then working for the university is part of the 2 hats that I have to wear is, yes, I have to coach my team, but I also have to recruit.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a 2-edged sword. So that's where it gets really interesting. Dallas hosted VEXU or VEX competition for 5 years, I believe so, or maybe a little bit longer than that down at Kay Bailey, which was really nice because I could go back and forth and not miss too many classes and start recruiting and stuff like that. St. Louis, it's a little bit farther. So, this year, unfortunately, I did not go to recruit. This one with my team. This next year, I got to sweet talk my department head and my dean to say, hey, let me go up and start recruiting a little bit. But that's one of the greatest things about this area specifically is how much robotics talent is in this area within a 30-mile radius of Greenville, East Texas A&M. There's a lot of great high schools. Greenville, obviously, we have, what, 4 or 5 different teams spread across from first all the way to VEX and other competitions. How's the Solar Car doing? Are they doing well?
They're ahead.
Yeah.
They're winning?
At this point, I think they have one more day.
One more day?
At least that's what the paper said.
All right, that's awesome. I was in, over at the university the other day, and they, I think they were doing one of their final test runs up 24, going around Congress. So they had the dualies behind it, in front of it, so it was good to see. But there's so much talent here with the area high schools, Caddo, Commerce, Sulphur Springs. So for me, I don't, as a recruiter, yes, I want to recruit out at other levels to bring notoriety to the university, bring in fresh talent, but it's a thing that I don't have to go down to Dallas or Houston every 5 minutes trying to recruit kids, because the students that the local high schools are producing are wonderful. And that's what we're getting at with even in university robotics. I don't know if anybody's a sports nut. Has anybody been following the whole NIL stuff at varsity level with name, image, and likeness and scholarships and all sorts of fun stuff? It's even getting to that level in robotics now, as far as stuff. So I actually meet with our athletic director and talk about stuff. It's really interesting to see how robotics and athletics is all encompassing. So it's pretty cool. All right, let me get back to this a little bit, and you can yell at me if there's time. There we go. Let me show a quick video so you can meet my guys. This was filmed in our lab. We do have a robotics lab at East Texas A&M buried in the bowels of the building. If you're familiar with the Ag-T building, this is where the old foundry used to be at in our area. So it's next to the, if you're really from back in the day, it's where the auto shop used to be at, auto mechanic shop. This is where this is located.
Put your microphone up to it.
Don't you love technology, folks? I thought I had the speaker set.
TV probably has sound, but we'd have to figure out how to turn it up.
He was very compassionate. We are very motivated to doing what we do. We put a lot of man hours on these robots. I'm one of the 2 drivers. We have 2 robots that we built, and we have 2 people that drive the robots when we play, and then 2 people to help give call-outs for whenever we need to install us and make sure that we're on our A game.
That's what really sets us apart as a team is we've been driving for so long together. You know, the synergy we have here is just unmatchable. You just don't find it anywhere else. We're very lucky.
If we won Worlds, I'd feel very accomplished. I would feel that we finally did it. I really like my team, and I want to be able to have that memory with them.
So, right now I got 4 folks on their team. The goal is to get it up to 6. Most of the teams that compete at World, we're actually the 2nd smallest team in VEX U with 4 individuals. The only team that's smaller is actually University of Louisville. We beat them as well, so we beat the ACC. I like to get up, you talk about A&M, I believe there's some Aggie folks in here. Your team is over 150.
Wow.
And so there's quite a bit of difference between them. Most university teams are about 20 students. So, but that comes with its own unique issues as well, is how do you figure stuff out. So I like to have a smaller team, and plus it makes it easier for travel, and what's
Next
going on
video.
now. Oh, slick music.
Heard, yeah.
There we go. All right. So kind of a recap from this last year is we ended up, our final rankings were first in the state of Texas, which is very good considering the amount of teams that are in the state of Texas. Obviously, UT, A&M, Texas Tech, us, Laterno, Lamar, Abilene Christian. So there's a lot of really good universities that participate. We finished third in the United States, so it was pretty good. We beat out Purdue, so I'm really happy with that in the final rankings. University of Central Florida, if you've ever heard of them, they have a really good robotics team. We did not get a chance to play them this year, but our goal is actually to see that in my plan for next year is to have a match against them. That's a really good team. And then fourth in the world, so
Wow.
not bad. Out of
Who
200
was first, second, and third?
Bravo.
in the world?
Yes.
First was Auburn. Second was Arkansas Tech, who we beat down in Houston. But because of the way the structure was at Worlds, they were in a different division than us, and they made it to the finals where we lost in the division finals to Auburn. And then there was a team from China and then us. So, not bad. Overall, we finished 30-5. Some of the teams outside of the United States that we beat the South American champions from Paraguay, and we beat the North African champs from Benghazi as well.
Good for you.
Yeah, so,
That's amazing.
It was a lot of fun. 4 of our 5 losses were to Auburn, who were world champs, and then our other one was against Nebraska. We should have won that if our intake didn't break. So overall, not bad. We participated in 3 events last year. The first one being at the University of Kansas, which is a very unique event. Houston, which I think is at Clear Creek, ISD as well. And then St. Louis is where Worlds was held at. If you do get a chance to go to Worlds, it is. You said it was who said it was a party?
Well, it's like a rock concert.
It is phenomenal.
It's a stadium just full of like, what, 15, 20,000 people, Johnny?
Yep.
At least. And I mean, it is amazing.
It is.
And just walk around the room and see all the teams from the different countries. They have their stalls where they work on their robots and their flag is there. And you visit with the students, are all proud. And our little group that Johnny took to World from Bowls, they all had cowboy hats on, real Texans up there. I was proud of them.
It is an absolute blast.
Johnny, you've been to World every year when you were coaching.
Yeah,
Made it
back in-
work.
Yes. It was, and this is just what you're saying is of the robotics talent around here. I think it's because of innovation first, in the location, proximity to them. So if you can make it out of here, you're pretty good because you've got a strong division or strong areas you're competing in, makes you better. And it was.
You know, we actually had permission from Innovation First to have the first dual country team between China and US. We were joining up with a school and they came over here for some training. Johnny had them for a week and another school came over. And then as we got the permission and then COVID hit. So it just shut everything down for us at that point.
Yeah, that was an IQ team.
Gotcha.
So it's been fun.
Gotcha.
As you're, I hear the spark in the way you talk is a lot of the way I feel is because this is good for the students. They learn a lot they can take into their profession as they grow, and it makes their education practical.
Yes.
It's more
They
than.
can apply what they learn in the classroom.
On that, you kept bringing up marketing being real important to you. Do you have to raise a certain amount of money?
So the team we are 100% donor funded.
Really?
I have to justify our space and the labs. So that's when I start making the joke about being a paper pusher. This is where I step in as the coach. One is to make sure the guys and gals on the team stay focused on, hey, we need to build a robot, because as you know, being a coach, they go haywire. But more importantly, what my job is to justify keeping the lab space, which is relatively simple to do because when you win trophies, it makes it easy. But more so is for donor funds. That is, we do not get a drop of money from the university,
What's your budget?
whatever I can raise.
And what was your budget last year?
My budget last year was total of $10,000.
Dang,
And that includes
You
travel?
know, a lot
That
of-
includes all of our travel.
that is crazy.
Yep.
Good for you.
So we spent, and that's where you get really interesting with the trips is because I don't know high schools in Texas. Do the sports teams or robotics teams, I know if you rent a charter, but if you get the yellow bus, you have to pay the school districts a fee.
Per mile, yeah.
Per mile, so it's
Yeah,
the same.
it adds up.
Yeah, the university is the same way. We have to pay a rental to the university, use a school vehicle, just to go to our Houston event, which was, St. Louis cost us almost $1,000 just to rent a vehicle from the university. So those kind of costs.
Who's your major donors?
The big one is Renee Griffin.
Renee Griffin.
Oh.
He's the one that donated $8 million to
Yeah.
name a new event center.
What a great cause, but Johnny, they're raising all their money.
That's a tough part of the job. That was part of my job when I was in Greenville, was to raise extra money. We got money from the district. And of course, I was over 5th grade through high school. So I mean, you're talking about a wide span, and we had a budget close to what a small elementary school would be.
Right.
Because the superintendent really wanted to support this, so that was, it made things a lot easier, but we still had, by the time we ran 5 tournaments a year, because that was the fundraiser for us, was to run tournaments, what we could make off the tournaments, entry fees, concession stand. Ran the state tournament for, the last 4 or 5 years that I was there. Everybody came to Greenville for the North Texas State Tournament. And that can be a lucrative moneymaker.
It can
Now,
be.
you earn every dime that you make, I promise you, when you do this. But it is something that can help you out.
It is, and that's what we're going for now. I think a few folks have been on our campus before. Remember the old field house?
Yes.
If you remember back in the day, we were Best Hub. I don't know if anybody might remember that with Best Robotics. We ran that.
Yes,
for
we
about
did. That's both.
Yeah, you participated.
Sure did.
Did very well.
Yeah.
Participated, we ran that up until about I think our last year was 2015. One of the reasons why we had to shut down was because the field house does not have a fire suppression system in it. And because of the size of the event and what the event is, we were not allowed anymore to host events. So the only thing that's allowed to be in the field house for the last decade has been graduations and true athletic events. It was grandfathered in by the fire marshal.
Wow.
So all the other
Didn't know
fun
that.
stuff had some issues. So with the event of with the new event center coming in, I've been to Commerce in the last year or so. They've got the Ag Complex built now, which
Yes.
is functioning. And then where CVS behind Whitley Hall,
Yeah.
the new event center is going up. It depends on who you talk to and when it is. I'm guessing probably fall of next year is when it'll officially be open. That's a Perry assumption, so do not quote me on that. It's delayed by a year. I'm sorry. You know how construction works.
I was
especially
there
with the
this
state.
week, it does look pretty, it's progressed a lot.
It has. I'm just nervous because they did have a crane collapse already on it, so you never know. Did anybody see that in the newspapers?
No, missed that one.
Yeah. Thankfully, it was at the beginning of construction, and so it only took down a couple girders.
This hospital had a crane, I watched it happen.
What's that?
The hospital had a crane fall on it
Ooh.
before I worked here.
Mm-hmm.
I was over getting gas in Valero.
So are you gonna have an event there at this center, you hope to,
My goal is.
this next season?
It's 27, 28.
Yeah.
So it'd be the start of the fall 27 season. It's gonna be really interesting to see how it works out because it's the home of university athletics and stuff like that. And where the robotics season starts, it's gonna be really interesting to play, see how that works out,
If you
but.
get-
They're also gonna do like music venue, like, it's gonna be,
Yes,
they're
it
gonna use
is.
it every day is what their goal is, I think.
It is, that is the goal, is that they have an event in there every day, or at least every other day of some sort of event, so we'll see how that works out. But it's gonna be really interesting, I know, B-Dubs is probably, Buffalo Wild Wings is probably, hoping for that, so we'll see how it goes. And that is a moneymaker and also a recruiting tool. 5 minutes, I got it. A recruiting tool, but then more importantly also is now I don't have to travel to Kansas anymore, and that cuts down on my travel cost as well. So those are some things there to do that. Go through this.
But you need those competitions, don't you, to really,
Especially at the high school level. My first competition that I want to do is actually just a scrimmage, because the building will be new, and it'll be the first time that we would host a VEX event. We've done best before, but just as a scrimmage, just to get all the bugs worked out first, and then start running events on pretty regularly, maybe 2 or 3 a year at the high school, middle school level, and then a VEX U event.
Is the arena the same, like, I think of an octagon for MMA? Is the,
Our arena is a 12-foot by 12-foot square.
so it's all the same for everybody?
Everybody. IQ, I believe, might be a little bit different, as far as, IQ a little bit different as far as their field size.
Yeah,
So
they
you're
changed, they've
invest-
changed this again.
They changed.
I've been retired long enough,
Yeah.
things have changed. It used to be a 4x8 play field at Vex IQ, and I think it's now 8x8.
So there's some differences.
But that would be a one-time investment as opposed to having to
Yeah.
build a robot every year.
To have an investment, I have right now 3 fields. That would not be enough to do an event. You would need a minimum of 2 competition fields, and you have multiple practice fields, a couple skill fields. But there's plenty of high schools around here, and that's where you.
they can bring them.
Bring them, make those connections with the high school coaches, and again,
Correct.
exactly, and it's just like what we do in football. You know, the university coach makes connections with the high school coaches. It's the same thing here. And then funding, obviously, is the fun part that I have to do, that I don't like, but it's necessary. Do you want to talk about this? So marketable skills, and I know I've got a couple minutes left, so I'll finish up with that. One of the biggest things is with cost benefit analysis, is for the students, especially when they start, is to review the game, what is our strategy? How are we doing this? Are we gonna be more of a tank, heavy, slow, tank impact? Or are we gonna be more mobile, quicker, better, faster than the other teams move? What is our strategy? And then what's the cost benefit of that? Okay, are we going to sacrifice strength for weight? Okay, what are we doing? Why are we doing that? What's the logic? What's the reason for that? Risk management is, again, okay, if we make this thinner, what's going to happen?
It's gonna break.
It's going to break, it's going to crack. Okay, how do we mitigate that risk? Do we bring extra parts? Do we bring a lot of extra zip ties? Hundreds of zip ties. And then lastly, crisis management. Every organization that you folks represent have had some sort of crisis, right? How do you can have the best bloody plans, right? We all do. We have a crisis management plan, right? What happens when it actually hits? Oops. We run, right? And we do what comes in front of us. And that's what happens in robotics. Because as coaches, you've seen your robots get hit and your brain falls off, or your brain breaks, or a motor burns up, or catches on fire. Those things happen. How does your team recover? And what happened to us against Arkansas Tech is we got hit so hard it broke the brain down. Brain was laying on the floor. Okay, we called our timeout, ripped the brain off, put a new brain in, zip tied it on, and won. So how do you overcome that? And to have that mentality, to have that skill set already experienced stress at the university level in a competition, it helps prepare them for careers when they get into their professional development, especially as engineers and STEM folks. A little bit about the team. 2 of the kids are from Commerce ISD, one individual is from Savoy, and the other young man is from Florida ISD.
With your enthusiasm, why do you only have 4 students? I can't figure that out. You gotta have a
He has to pay to
dozen.
get them there.
Well, no, I had 8, What happens is at the university level, it's a commitment. This is you've got to be committed for the year. And what happens is students, especially at the 4-year level, they're looking at, in high schools, you can dictate a class period, is that correct?
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't say it's when the team wants to meet. And then also we have students, I had a few students the previous year that they were just on it for resume padding, which happens, we know this. But as soon as they would come in for the fun stuff and then, so
Yeah.
I want to have kids that are really good. My goal, that's why I want to keep it small, between 6 to 8 students. 4 is not enough because at Worlds and at competitions, you're running around constantly. And because there is a limited number of folks, you're behind schedule. So, 6
Good
to-
answer. Commitment.
Commitment, that's the biggest thing. But it's open to any major. Previously, I've had ag majors, psychology majors, English majors, a history major. So it is open to anybody. Right now, I got an industrial engineer, computer science, electrical engineer, and a new incoming mechanical engineer. So pretty good.
Commerce is a good feeder program, district. That teacher does very well.
Yeah, Mr. Larry? Yeah.
Yes,
All right. Does anybody have any questions?
do a terrific job.